Hello ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jamie. A digital, robotic sounding Jamie. And today I'm going to be talking to you about when is it acceptable to reveal confidential information in social work practice. I'll try my best not to put you to sleep. Anyway, let's be serious. An important source for social workers faced with ethical dilemmas is the Code of Ethics for Social Work adopted by the British Association of Social Workers. In the Principles of Practice, the code provides the following guidance on information sharing. It says, "The social worker will divulge such information only with the consent of the client, or informant, except where there is clear evidence of serious danger to the client, worker, other persons or the community, or in other circumstances, judged exceptional on the basis of professional consideration and consultation." Now, that was quite a mouthful. So let's look at it bit by bit.
What's said in the room stays in the room.
An absolute guarantee of confidentiality should never be given to a service user, as there are circumstances where law and good practice require information to be shared. Take care not to make promises you can't keep. The need to share confidential information becomes an absolute imperative in cases involving a threat to the service user or the safety of others, where there is reasonable cause to believe that anyone may be suffering or at risk. Practitioners should always consult their management, who should then consider referring their concerns to the police or other relevant authorities. And if there is imminent danger, seek support immediately.
Do you mind if I disclose that information?
That is okay.
Confidential information can be released if the service user gives consent. In many situations, if information needs to be shared, the first step will be to ask for permission from the service user or other person who provided the information, as any duty of confidentiality is owed to that person. Then once consent is obtained, assuming the individual has the capacity to consent, there should be no concerns.
You have pretty ears.
Ooh la la.
Professionals will often have to share information about an individual for the best interests of that person or others. Safe and effective care is dependent upon relevant confidential information being shared amongst all those involved caring for the individual. Here are a few examples. For example, a colleague could be sick, and you have to take over a case. Another example is if the confidential information is requested by court, and even discussing a case with a supervisor or manager. In fact, private information can be shared with a variety of professionals, including teachers, doctors, carers, psychiatrists, the police. The list goes on and on. Here are a few other considerations. You have a right to know if a service user has a history of violence, and a duty to inform other staff who will be involved. It is essential for their safety and overrides the rules of confidentiality, including the duties laid down in the Data Protection Act 1984. Additionally, where the service user or patient does not have the capacity to give valid consent, confidential information should be shared with the carer or next of kin where it is in the person's best interests. Under Section 12 of the Children Act 2004, an information database by the name of Contact Point was established. It was intended to provide a speedy mechanism for professionals involved with a child to locate each other and share relevant information to safeguard and promote the welfare of children. The database reveals basic identifying details about the child, the contact details of the carers, parents and professional leads involved. It acts as an operator for professionals to contact each other and share private information for the best interests of the child. Hallelujah. Still with me, confidentiality should not become a barrier for safe and effective care. When confidential information is shared, it should be relevant, necessary and proportionate. There are data protection principles involved, such as the need to demonstrate 1. There is a clear purpose, for example to help with a diagnosis. 2. The purpose could only be achieved by sharing the confidential information. 3. The extent of the information sharing is kept as limited as possible, consistent with achieving a clear purpose. Anyway, thank you for listening to my part of the presentation. It's nice to see you're not all asleep. Goodbye. Oopsie daisy. I almost forgot. Here are some of the useful sources where I got my information from.